insight, once everyone starts giving, is that if that giving gets connected, it creates a gift ecology. And an easy way to understand this, I don't know how many of you guys know about Karma Kitchen. Most of you know, probably. Berkeley folks would know. For so many years we've been hosting these here and now in 23 places around the world. I was just at Karma Kitchen in Warsaw a couple days ago. You walk into a restaurant and you get served a meal like at any other restaurant, but at this pop-up restaurant, your check is going to read 0 because someone before you has paid for you. You don't know them, you can't say thank you to them, you are trusted to pay it forward for people after you. How valuable is that? Right? That experience, it's not a food experience, you're taking a common food experience of transaction and expanding it into an experience of empathy and hopefully even deeper than that, into compassion. And so it's very profound what can happen when you move from this kind of transaction to trust. If it's all karmic and we have this infinite faith in karma and you're planting the right kinds of seed, then why would you really worry about it? And of course, very high-level monks do live in this way, but all of us can experience and practice that. And Karma Kitchen becomes a place to practice, because otherwise, where else do you practice? But we can apply this. It's all volunteer-run, it's amazing. We have endless stories around it. But you can apply this in so many ways. This is Richard, also based out of Oakland. He said, you know, I've been running a magazine for about 15 years, and I do subscriptions, just like all other magazines do. But I'm moved by this idea to go from transaction to trust, and he took away all dollar signs. And he says, from now on, only offerings of gratitude. Because offerings of gratitude is also going to benefit the giver a whole lot more than a transaction. This is a fellow in India who runs his rickshaw in the same way. You sit in his rickshaw and no charge. Not because it's free, but because someone before you paid for you. How would you like to pay it forward? And everyone says, hey, how does it work? You know, he's like talk of the town. And he says, I just believe in love. I believe that if I give to you, generosity begets more generosity. Smiles begets more smiles. Love begets more love. And he says, I'm willing to put my whole livelihood on the line. And when you sit in that rickshaw, it's not Bill Gates teaching you about philanthropy and love. It's an everyday rickshaw driver. It's profound. So, you know, if you go through the 3 insights, if we lead with this idea of transformation-driven service, we say, hey, everyone is good at something. When everyone has a gift, we realize that everyone not only is good at something, but instead of selling your gifts in the market, you can actually give them away. And we want to. There's so much neuroscience behind this as well. And if that generosity gets engaged, it creates a gift ecology. And then, in the context of these deep relationships of gratitude, of compassion, I would say, if such a gratitude network does form, you arrive at the 4th idea, which is that everyone is deeply and profoundly connected to everything. We talk about interconnection, but if we bypass the first 3 stages, you're really just working at a cognitive level. You're not really going to stop wars in the world because you don't really have any of the foundation for it. So you can sit and say, yeah, I'm interconnected to you. How deep is that experience? How deep are we going into our subconscious and feeling it with other people? Feeling it with all life, not just people. So this idea of everyone being connected to everything is so powerful, but when it's supported by this foundation of sincere cultivation, I think it becomes very profound for us individually and collectively. So I want to invite a friend to share a quick short story. His name is Makala Kozo Hattori. He's from Hawaii. He used to be a surfer. He's a dad. He's just a loving human being, and he has just been a courageous example of how to embody these principles. So welcome, Kozo!